Hello YouTube, it's Pizzscn here. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the Kindle, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So, first of all, I would like to show you guys a bit around the device. Also, I would like to mention this video probably will, I'm going to try and keep this video one part, but if I find it's a little bit long, I might split it up like I did with my iPod Touch 4th generation review, where I split it up into different sections, but we'll see. But anyway, here is the device itself. Up there it says Amazon Kindle. And then here's the screen, which is currently displaying the lock screen. It actually displays some built-in little pictures and photos of famous authors and stuff. I mean, I'm sure all of you know who Mark Twain is. There's some in here who I've actually never heard of. And actually, Mark Twain is one of the few in here that I've heard of. There's some that are like, who the flippin' heck are they? You know what I mean? I think Emily Dickinson's in here too. I've heard of her. Those are the only two that I know of, and sometimes you'll see some interesting, like, paintings and, just pictures of, like, stuff. I don't know. It's kind of cool, though, but it is a little bit annoying in that there really isn't at least there isn't a built-in way to change to, like, put any of these photos, of your own photos in here to go through the cycle. But anyway, we'll get into that in a second. Here you have your keyboard. Now, you cannot write books with the Kindle. You can't, like, type out, like, books and stuff with the Kindle, and frankly you don't want to, and we'll get into that here also a little later. On the right you got these two buttons here. One is forwards, one is back. It's a little hard to see, sorry about that. And you got the same thing over here, forwards and back. And then on the very edge of on the very left you've got, on the very edge you've got these little slits, which you can actually use to, which you use to install it in Amazon's cases, which is pretty cool. I do want to get the one with the built-in booklight. I have heard it does have a bit of an issue with resetting the Kindle, that particular case. We'll see about that though. But anyway, that's what those little things are for. And this is the third, hold on. This is the third generation of the Kindle. One of the big things about this particular version is that these actually have the ability to power things like the booklight. So using the Kindle's battery, it will actually power the booklight, which is kind of cool. But again, I have heard it does have an issue with sometimes resetting the Kindle, but I still want to get that case because I'm very interested in the booklight, but we'll see. On the top we have absolutely nothing, and on the bottom here we've got a few more things. Right here's your lock switch and your power switch. That is your micro USB cable. In my unboxing I said I thought that was a proprietary cable, but this is the first device I've ever owned with micro USB, so I was unsure of what that was, but it's micro USB, trust me. Next to that you have a microphone, and then here you've got a headphone jack, and then next to that you've got your volume rocker. And then on the very back of the Kindle, you've got a nice matte finish. It says right there Amazon Kindle. You've got two speakers, alright. And then down here you've just got some stuff, like, you know, all of your little thingies that they're required to put there, so that's cool. So before I actually turn the Kindle on and actually show you a bit around the UI, I wanted to tell you guys what the Kindle kind of reminds me of and how I kind of use the Kindle. The Kindle reminds me actually of the Nintendo DSi. Now you're probably thinking, what? How? How is the Kindle even remotely similar to the DSi? I'm not talking, you know, it works very similarly. I'm talking about the DSi is a device that has that is meant to be a gaming device, okay? That is what it was built for. That is what it was made for, alright? You would not want to, you know, type out whole documents using this layout here. You've only got 4 letters, first of all. You do have a keyboard, but it's a touchpad keyboard. It's built for gaming, but it can do a lot of other stuff. You can use this to check your email, okay? You can use this to, you know, you can take pictures with it. You can use it to, you can actually animate with this thing. It actually does quite a bit of stuff other than gaming, alright? You can do quite a few things with it, alright? That is what the Kindle reminds me of. The Kindle was designed to be an e-reader, alright? A reading device. It's meant for reading, and it does a very good job on that. But it can do several other things too. You can also check your email with the Kindle. Alright, believe it or not, some people actually don't know this. You can actually check your Facebook with the Kindle. You can go on Twitter, you can tweet with the Kindle. It's actually an MP3 player. You can listen to music with the Kindle. Alright, so it's actually a very multifunctional device. So that is why it reminds me of the DSi. Just because they're both meant, the DSi is basically a dedicated gaming device, but they threw in a little extra of those added features just, so that you get a little bit more for your money. Same thing with the Kindle. Alright? So, just thought I'd throw that out to you guys, that the Kindle actually is a very feature-filled device. Not a lot of people know this. Something else a lot of people don't know, in fact, everybody who I've let you hold and see the Kindle who's been interested, they all think it's a touchscreen. The Kindle's not a touchscreen. You actually operate the Kindle with this thing here. This is how you navigate the Kindle. It's just a little four-way D-pad. Nobody seems to notice this. They either immediately touch the screen like, ooh, does this, I can't do anything. Or they say, is this a touchscreen device? I prefer the people who ask before they touch the screen because, honestly, fingerprints don't look very good on this thing. But anyway, let's go ahead and power this thing on so I can show you guys the UI. Alright, so anyway, you can also see the e-ink has very good visibility, very good viewing angles. Just awesome. Just look at that. I mean, you can still quite clearly see the word. I mean, there is a bit of glare, but yeah, it's very awesome. Alright, let's go ahead and turn it on. You flip the switch and you'll see a green light blink turn on. And then you're brought into the user interface. Alright, so anyway, this right here is your home screen. It will show you your list of books and collections. A collection is basically, well, something you can put books inside of to collect them. Like, well, let's say, for instance, I want to put the Holy Bible in my school folder. Even though I don't use the Bible in school, let's just so that way, I can do it. Or let's just put it in my notes. So I'm gonna open up my notes, and I'm gonna go in menu, and I can add, remove items. And the Bible is right there. Now I've got the Bible inside of my notes collection. So now I have 2 books in here. It's just it's like folders on your iPod Touch. It's a nice way to, or your iPhone, it's a nice way to organize your books and your games. You can play games on your Kindle, which frankly I haven't tried. Well, I have played Minesweeper on here. There is a built-in Minesweeper game that's hidden. I might get into that a little later, but, yes. Anyway, that's that. So, let me actually show you guys, obviously it's well, first of all, let me show you guys around the, home screen a little bit, so, alright. Right up here, it shows your, navigation bar. You can put your own name right there. I just put Pizzscn in there, so that's what it says. And then right here, it tells you what your network connection is. This is the Wi-Fi and 3G model, by the way. So if you're connected to Wi-Fi, it'll say Wi-Fi. If you're connected to 3G, it'll say 3G. If you're connected to Edge, it'll say Edge. Okay? There's your signal strength, and that's your battery meter. How much battery you have left. The battery will last up to a month with Wi-Fi turned off. A month, okay? If you turn wireless off, this will last you a whole month. So if you use this as a dedicated reader and you only get on the internet just to get new books, you're set for a month. I mean, how cool is that? Go out, if you need to go out in a survival trip to the woods, and you don't want to bring a lot of books with you, bring this with you. It's perfect. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Anyway. Oops, sorry. So yeah, and then down here it tells you, what page you're on. If I had enough books in here, it'd probably span out to several more pages. And you just navigate the pages with these things here. That's pretty cool. If I push left on the D-pad, when I have something selected, you'll notice those little arrows. Push left, it'll give me the option to delete, which I'm not going to do. So if I push right though, which I think I just did. Let's see. Now, if I push right, I pushed it. It will bring me to the little collection menu here, which will allow me to open collection, add, remove items, rename collection, or delete the collection, which is pretty cool. And if I go next to a particular book and do that, let's go back to the Bible here. It just, go to last read page, all that stuff. It's It's just a little menu, and you can also delete the book from here, and you can view your notes and your marks. So let me actually, whoopsies, let me actually show you guys a book, you know, because it's obviously a reading device. You would probably read books with it. So I've got a book here under school. We're currently reading a book called The Song of Hiawatha. So I'm just going to show you guys a little bit of what this looks like. This is a freebie book I found. Whenever I get a book for school, I'm going to try and find the ones that are free, obviously. Don't want to spend too much money on school, do I? Well, until I get to college at least. But anyway, this here is chapter 1 of Song of Hiawatha. You navigate just like this. So I just went back a page. Now, I've noticed something. If you go back a page, it takes a little while longer to refresh than if you go forwards. I'm going to go forwards now. And it's like instant. So you can actually see the refresh rate's pretty good, but if you're going backwards, for some reason there's just a slight delay. Let's try it on this side. Yeah, there's even still just a slight delay, which I don't know why. It's kind of interesting. But when you get to your cover, there's an even longer delay because it has to load a picture. But anyway, there's the Song of Hiawatha's freebie cover thing. So yeah. Okay, let's start. So you literally just navigate through here with these buttons on the side. As you can see, it refreshes very fast, which is very nice. Of course, you can't like watch videos or movies on here. That would be absolutely a nightmare. You'd basically be watching a slideshow, but still. Maybe one day when e-ink is so advanced and it can, you know, actually instantly, like, you know, push the button. You don't even see this little black stuff going on. Instantaneous, like, boom, next page. We might be able to get, like, some, you know, some movies on these, but honestly, it'd be like going back in the day where you only had black and white film, but I don't know. Anyway, just saying. So yeah. Now let's say I want to put a note in. As you can see, the chapters did not come marked, so I kind of had to highlight them. But let me show you guys real quickly how to highlight stuff. Let's say I want to highlight this particular phrase right here. He had stolen the belt of wampum from the neck of him. Or her, or whatever. You use your little D-pad here, and you start moving, and once you do, you'll see a little cursor up here. Alright, so go to where you want to go. Alright, and to highlight, what you actually want to do is you want to click the center button here. It'll get slanted. Then you can easily highlight the phrase that you want to highlight. So let's just highlight the whole, well, that's quite a long sentence, so let's just highlight what we were originally going to. Ugh. Alright, there we go. You'll notice it doesn't go letter for letter, it goes word for word. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and hit the center button again, and it will actually underline it, and that's a highlight. If I go up to the highlight, you'll see it gets a little bold, so yeah. And if I want to delete the highlight, just, you know, go up to the highlight and push the delete key, and it goes away. If I want to put a note in, you know, the white rabbit, I don't know, let's just do something stupid. Let's not, let's say, hey, there's no dedicated comma buttons, so sometimes you'll need to go in and use the symbols button to get some of those symbols like the comma. Hey YouTube. Alright, and then you got some little options down here. You can either cancel, clear, save and share, save notes, and there's actually even more. You can actually find it. You can go to My Items. You can look it up in the store. You can actually Google it, and you can Wikipedia it. So that's kind of cool. I'm just going to go and save it so I can show you what it looks like. Alright. That's what it looks like. So if I mouse over to where the, if I highlight the little note there, it shows it up here. That's kind of cool. Now, if I want to share it, all I got to do is hit Enter plus Alt. So if I hold down Enter and hit Alt, alright, it'll say, actually, hold on, excuse me, let's see what I'm going, oh, I'm just going to hit Save and Share. You'll notice this little thing here spinning, and it says Message Shared. So, I have just put this particular phrase, or that particular note or something, I just shared that, I think I might have shared that with my Facebook friends and with my Twitter friends. So, there you go. So I might have just tweeted out, hey YouTube, which is kind of funny. And to delete it, you just hit the delete key, and it goes away. So, that's all I know of that you can use, that you can do in books. Pretty simple. I just pushed the back key, so let's go back. Alright, so that's what books are like. It works very well. I mean, this e-ink display, it feels like a book. I mean, and if you hold it like this, I mean, it really feels nice, you know. Hold it one-handed like this, you can just totally, I don't know, I just really like reading books on here. It's definitely a nice experience. Let's go into the menu here, and I'll show you guys the home screen menu. You can go straight to the Kindle store. I think this option is pretty much in every single menu you have, which is kind of cool. View archived items. I'm still trying to figure out what those do. I mean, I have 3 in there. I just don't know how I make archived items. But anyway, search something. You can bring up a search bar. But if you want to search something, just start typing. No matter where, you know, and it'll just bring up the search bar automatically, which is kind of a nice feature. You can create a new collection. Sorry if I wasn't focused there. You can sync and check for items. So if I click that, it'll just start checking the WhisperNet and start looking for things. And as you can see, there's no new items. It says up there. So that's that. So, and then we can go to settings, which I'd love to do, but I'm not going to be able to. It gives away private information. And then experimental. So that's pretty much that. There's something I forgot to mention about books that I would like to mention. I'm actually going to go into my notes, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and click on vocabulary. I want you guys to listen to this thing's text-to-speech feature. Alright? So I'm going back. As I said, going back pages has a little bit of delay in it, but going forwards, instant. Now this is actually a .txt file, I should mention. I actually typed this up on the computer and put it on the Kindle. Alright, you can do that, and it's a very nice feature because, you know, if you need, you know, say you're like, gonna give a, you know, a speech or something, you don't need to, I mean, you can just write it, you can type it out and print it out, but if you want to conserve paper, just put it on your Kindle. I mean, it's so easy to do. And when you're done with it, you can actually delete it, which I'll... actually, I don't think I'll show you with this particular note because I actually need this note to do a little bit of studying, but I'll show you anyway. Well, I'll show you... Well, I've already showed you how to get to the delete, so never mind. But I'm actually going to go ahead and push this fonts key, and I'm going to go to text-to-speech. Well, let me show you what this is. You got all these font options here. You can make your text bigger. You can see you can get quite large, right, and you can get very, very small. I mean, we're talking tiny, but you can still read that clearly. Let me show you this. Sorry about it being sideways. Might need to orient them. Well, it'll just be sideways, but you can actually read that very clearly. So that's very cool. Anyway, my preferred setting is the 3rd setting. You can set the typeface to regular, condemned, which is another font, and sans serif. I actually prefer regular. Now, normally when I'm on the computer, I love sans serif. That's my favorite font. But on the Kindle, it just doesn't feel like it's correct. I mean, yeah, I could probably still live with that, but I do prefer you just using the regular here. It looks nice. Line spacing, large, medium, and small. Words per line, default, fewer, and fewest. You can see what that does. Very cool. And text, well, let's go to screen rotation. Click here, get a sort of a landscape view here. That's kind of cool. And you can even view it upside down if you prefer that. So let's go to upside down. Whoops, excuse me, I made it bigger. Upside down. Now you got it upside down, which is kind of cool. And you know, you can do it both ways in the landscape too. So let's just go back. Whoops, arg, keep. Let's just put it back to normal. Anyway, there we go. So let me show you the text-to-speech. This is a feature that Amazon made a big deal about in like their commercials and stuff. Well, they do make a pretty big deal about it, but let's just let me let you listen to it. Thank you. Tongue twaddle. Never mind. Just listen.
Vocabulary, words to the wise too. Anarchy, a state of disorder due to absence or non-recognition of authority. Matriarch, a woman who is head of a family or tribe. Archaic, very old or old-fashioned. Archetype, a very typical example of a certain person or thing. Archbishop, The chief bishop responsible for an archdiocese oligarchy, a small group of people having control of the country, organization, or institution. Archaeological, the study of human history and prehistory through the analysis of artifacts and other physical remains. Archives.
Yeah. The text-to-speech is okay. I can't say I like it that much, though. I mean, it works. I just don't like it that much, though. I think I've definitely heard better, alright? The best text-to-speech thing I've ever heard is the one that's on my iPod Touch. The one that's just built into my iPod Touch is just absolutely excellent. You can hear the words clearly, and I just like that one. It's very functional. This one's okay. I'd say this one definitely beats Microsoft Sam, but it is, I don't know, I just don't think I like it that much. Let me let you listen to the woman.
Other physical remains.
Go
Archive.
and pause it. It actually takes a while for it to transition to the man, to the woman,
Historical
and I have to set it while it's talking.
Providing information about a place.
Or group of people, patriarch, the male head of a family or tribe hierarchy, a system or organization in which people or groups are ranked one above the other according to status or authority. Affluent, having a great deal of money, wealthy confluence, the junction of two rivers, especially rivers of approximately When will it switch?
fall irregularly in number or amount, fluent, able to express oneself easily and articulately, fluid, a substance that has no fixed shape and yields easily to external pressure. A deep, narrow channel or ravine with a stream running through it, fluorescent, having or showing fluorescence fluvial, or found in a river floods the action or process of flowing or flowing out, influx and arrival or entry of large numbers of people or things. Anthropology, the study of humankind. In particular, philanderer readily or frequently enters.
Trying to make it change, but it won't change. Pause. Are you please change? The collection and study of postage stamps filter a drink supposed to excite the sexual love in the drinker, anthropoid resembling a human being in form. Anglophile, a person who is fond of or greatly admires England or.
And it didn't finish it. Maybe now it'll be a woman voice. Come on.
Bibliophile,
Oh, what?
a person who collects or has a great
Wow.
love of books. Misanthrope, a person who dislikes humankind and avoids human society.
Society, philosophy, the study of the fundamental nature of knowledge, reality, and existence. Philharmonic. Devoted to music, philately, the collection and study of postage stamps filter.
Bibliophile,
Thank
a person
you.
who collects or has a great love of books. Misanthrope, a person who dislikes humankind and avoids human society. Philosophy, the study of the fundamental nature of knowledge, reality, and existence. Philharmonic, devoted to music. Philately, the collection and study of postage stamps filter. A drink supposed to excite the sexual love in the drinker. Anthropoid, resembling a human being in form. Anglophile, a person who is fond of or greatly admires England or.
And it didn't finish it. So, wow, that was an epic pain.
Bibliophile,
So I just want to set it back to male because I prefer that one.
love of books.
Alright, let's turn it back on. See what worked. Thank you.
That was easy.
Love of books. Misanthrope, a person.
Why wasn't it that easy at first? I don't know. I think I did the exact same thing once and it still was set to man. Oh my gosh. The text-to-speech thing is just not very good. I don't know. They could have done a better job with it though. Wow. This one particular segment was 6 minutes. I might have to cut out some of that struggling there. Anyway, you get the idea. Wow. Okay, let's go back. We're not doing that anymore. Okay, now, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the experimental settings.
You're a person who dislikes